Somebody once told me that every great presentation begins with a hot start. Now, if this was too cheesy for you, you're going to be in for a long 5 minutes because this presentation is completely cheesy, but please stick with me because we'll get to something deeper. So my name is Jesse Baker, and I am a strategist for a brand design agency called Hornell Anderson, and I see a lot of stock photography. Some good, some bad. And one day I asked myself, what if life were really like stock photography? So if you work in the industry or if you're a photographer who actually supplies really great stock photos, this talk is not for you. I'm talking about extremes here, and so just keep doing what you're doing, all right? And this is probably what you think about when you think of really bad stock photography. Epic office triumphs, conquering the impossible, and really awkward photos with food. And if you're like me, you asked, why? Why did this happen? And the answer is because of how stock photos are produced. They are created in anticipation of demand, meaning a photographer has to guess what somebody's going to want. So in any good argument, you acknowledge the opposition. So I will say stock photos have come a very long way. And there are some very legitimate reasons for why you want to use them. They're cheaper, they're easier, and they are faster. But when stock goes wrong, stock goes wrong. The first is that a lot of times it's very unrealistic, like woman eating salad. I've had a lot of great salads, like chef, Thai chicken. I've never been this happy, and neither of you, I bet. The next problem is that anybody can use the same photo you are, even your closest competitor. Made famous by the Everywhere Girl in 2004, she, at the same time, was in ads for both Dell and Gateway for personal computers. And the next reason is that stock photos often don't provide a lot of context. I have no idea what's going on here, and what it does, because I want to know what this girl's thinking, is I have to jump to conclusions. And this is what the talk is really about. At its worst, stock photos really perpetuate stereotypes, and that's terrible. If I look at this image, I'm supposed to avoid every woman while they're PMSing. I get it, but that's not what I believe, just to be clear. And unfortunately, women seem to get the brunt of stock photography stereotypes. If you're a businesswoman, if you're a feminist, if you're a working mom, you can conclude that you either need to be promiscuous or you hate your life, and that is wrong. But don't worry, every group is conflicted by this. You have happy, smart Asians, overly aggressive black men, even Santa and dogs are, suffer from this. And you might be thinking, white males probably got it good, right? Nope. And this proves that no matter who you are, there's a stock photo out there that says something to you about society, whether you like it or not. So let's do an experiment. I'm going to list off to you 3 traits, and you just quickly think about what comes to mind. Millennial, multiracial, Idahoan. I didn't think that was going to be a joke. What comes to mind? Happy multiracial family? A hipster Skyping on his cell phone? A potato farmer? Hopefully you didn't think of a white supremacist. But what you probably didn't think of is me. And that's the point. Stock photos can never tell you the unique characteristics that make me who I am. And stock photos can never tell you that when I was younger, I really overused the thumbs up. So what if life were like stock photography? Well, I think life would be pretty predictable. And I think we would lose all appreciation for those set of unique characteristics that make us who we are. We'd lose appreciation for the unique characteristics that make the world beautiful. Now, again, if you're in this industry, you're creating stock photos, I apologize. This is not about stock photography. This is actually about a conversation about stereotypes and how we're all affected by them. And if we're honest, we know that we all stereotype every day too. But it's not necessarily our fault. Stereotypes are shortcuts that our brain makes in order for us to process information more quickly. It's hard ingrained into who we are. And stock photography and other forms of media just reinforce that over time. So this is what I say to you. Challenge stereotypes. Much like Amanda's talk earlier, that was great. Be open to special and embrace all of our unique characteristics that make us who we are. Thank you.